Hey guys and girls, how's it going? It is a rainy, stormy, thunder and lightning Saturday afternoon here in Oklahoma, and I wanted to do a little update on Chris because I haven't done one since I think maybe, golly, I don't know, maybe Wednesday before last. I don't know, it's been a while, and I just wanted to kind of catch up a little bit on how she's doing. I'm going to kind of walk down here to the lake a little bit. I was going to walk in the woods because you know me, I love to walk in the woods. You never know what's going to happen, what you're going to find when you walk in the woods, but I'm trying to get down here in between rain showers, and now a minute ago I looked out and I thought I can do it right now. It's between rain showers, but it's raining again. It's raining again, so I was going to walk out there on the deck and do it there because that's just my favorite spot. I love it out on the deck, but I'm going to go down and get on the dock right now. I might set this thing up and visit with you for a little bit. Hear that? Hear that? It's both ways. It's north and south. It's kind of, I told Gerald Halpayne, my buddy that's been here, him and Doris have been here this week. I couldn't have made it this week without Doris and Aunt Lou, Chris's 83-year-old aunt, who took off from working at the hospital this week. Works for the Stillwell Hospital, 83 years old, still got a full-time job, to come down here and help with Chris while Sherry was gone. And I told Chris we'd have made it by ourselves, or at least I'd have made it by ourselves, her and just I. She might not have made it though. That's the bad deal. But anyway, but I couldn't. Doris and Aunt Lou helped me so much. I mean, it was amazing. They helped me so much. I'm going to kind of set this down here a little bit and see if I can square it around where I can talk, tell y'all what's been going on, because it's raining out there. It's raining out. Whoa! It's this tripod. You need to set all three legs facing different directions, don't they? But it's raining out here, and I just wanted to catch you up on what's going on, because the game's down. We talked about it all along, and so many of y'all have written in and said, Jimmy, be patient. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. It's little bitty, tiny, small victories you're looking for. And it seems like that this week, in the last, well, I guess it's been, I think it's been maybe, I don't remember exactly, but maybe last Friday. It's been at least a week and maybe 9 or 10 days since I talked to you about Chris, but she has really good moments and other moments where it seems like she's going back the other direction. And they tell me that that's natural, so I'm not really all that super concerned about that being a really bad deal, because they said that's natural. That's something that happens. But she, at times, she talks to me and you can understand every word she's saying. At other times, she's talking Cherokee or something, I don't know, or talking in tongues, and she gets in a hurry to say what she wants to say, and it just doesn't come out. She knows what she wants to say. She can read just fine. She can understand what we're saying just fine. We tell her something, she understands it all. She's watched Oklahoma get beat in a softball game and also watched Oklahoma win. So they've got an almost impossible task to get to the finals of the College World Series, but you never know. You never know. We're OU Sooners fans, win or lose. It doesn't really matter. And we love those girls. We love those girls. We love Patty Gasso, and we love the girls' softball team, and we're just Oklahoma University fans, period. You know, there's more to Oklahoma University athletics than football, although football is pretty big, pretty big. But the amazing thing, and one of the things I wanted to share with you, was her speech does seem to be better at times, worse at times. She is putting nice full sentences together. She's becoming a little bit like a parrot, in that she repeats a lot of the things that I just sit down and make her, and I'll just tell her, you know, I need to have a wash rag to wash my face. You know, a good complete sentence like that, and she'll get it a little wrong, but then I'll tell her again. I say, look at me, I need a wash rag to wash my face, and she'll say it just as plain as day, just like everyone else. And she's learning, and she'll be back there. She'll be back there doing those Friday evening deer videos, I'm sure. If something doesn't get all of our deers, I think I'm going to start trying to attack coyotes a little bit this week, because we're losing deer. I mean, we got a lot of deer, but it seems to me like we're losing deer. And I'm not fighting any bodies or anything, but sometimes you don't on the coyotes. But I found what looked like a den the other day, and I'm going to go over there and see if I can hang around there and maybe find something coming in and out of that den. But she her right leg, which is the bad leg, and her right arm. Her right arm's not responded at all, but it will. We've got home therapists coming, and without a doubt, far and away, the one that's really, really spending time and spending significant time, spending at least an hour with her, and 45 minutes or an hour, and really act like he really wants to help her, is Stephen McCartney. And Stephen's just done an incredibly job. He's come out a couple times extra on his own, because he knows that, you know, Chris is only going to be here at the ranch probably next week, and then we'll be using the Kaiser Rehabilitation Center in Tulsa, where they've got all the machinery and everything to hopefully help a little bit more than they have the capabilities of helping with home health care. But Stephen's just done a remarkable job. I wanted to wait till after the speech therapist came today, and she didn't spend much time with Chris, but I've been spending way more time with her than that, with her working on her speech. But Stephen came and spent a good long period of time. But here's the thing that Stephen did the other day when he was here, and he's coming 2 or 3 times a week. He's going to come tomorrow after church. That's a remarkable young man right there, you know. And I think Stephen, she really likes to have Stephen working with her, because he's a good-looking guy. So she likes that, you know. And Chris is partially good-looking guys. What can I say? In general, not necessarily specifically. But anyway, he is so gentle with her, and he works so diligently, and he's so skilled at what he's doing. And he actually, the other day when he was here a couple, 2 or 3 days ago, and I just was so excited about sharing this with you, she stood up, and he basically barely helped her up, and she got up pretty much using her left leg and pushing up with her right arm, and stood up straight. And he's got her rocking back and forth on her good leg and her bad leg, rocking back and forth like this, and holding on to something. But then at times she'll take it apart and be back and putting weight on that right foot. Now her right foot, and she can't feel any of it, but she's actually putting weight on it because she's rocking back and forth just like this, just like I'm doing right here. And today he had her stand up 3 or 4 times and stand there as long as she could, maybe a minute or two, and then let her sit back down. And I love thunder and lightning. I love that. I just that's God. That's God. They used to tell me that was God bowling in heaven or something. And I know that's not true. That's just God thundering. That's just God thundering. And I love storms. I love thunder and lightning. And we have bad tornadoes here in Oklahoma. We hadn't had but about 20 this year, 25, something like that. And so it's been a great year weather-wise. We've not had much rain until lately, but we're up to about 17 or 18 inches for the year now, which I know most of y'all had way more than that, but we're thankful for what we're getting. But he got her to stand up there, and the 3rd time, she almost totally stood up by herself. Now, let me tell you what a big deal that is, you know, because I've been having to put a belt on her, get a hold of her, raise her up, and get her to stand up good and straight, you know, just to go to the bathroom. And so what a big deal if she can just stand up. It doesn't sound like much to all of us that can do that easily, but there's many of you out there that can't, and you know what a big deal that is, just to be able to stand up. Just to be able to stand up. And the last time he said, I almost helped her none at all. And she had a busy day with a speech therapist, and she didn't get up till pretty late. She slept probably 13 or 14 hours last night, but it's a crazy deal on my schedule. My schedule is really crazy because I don't normally go to bed till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, and she's going to bed at 8:30, and about 4:30 she wants to get up and go to the bathroom, and so I get up, take her to the bathroom, and I've only been in bed a couple, 2 or 3 hours, and so then I'm up, and she goes back to bed, and mostly I stay up. Occasionally I've gone back and I got a couple more hours sleep, but I need to adapt to her schedule. I know that. I know a bunch of y'all going to write in and say that. Jimmy, you need to be adapting to her schedule. Don't ask her to adapt to yours. And I understand. I understand that just fine. But you know, you know, it's just a fantastic situation that she is improving. God is healing Chris. God has probably already healed her. It's just a matter of getting the restoration back to its full deal. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Rain dripping off the roof. I love to hear rain on a tin roof. You country guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. To me, this is a gorgeous, beautiful day. To me, this is a gorgeous, beautiful day. Raining. It'd be a great day to be fishing. Get your raincoat on. You get a little bit wet. It'd be a great day to be fishing. But everything is just beautiful out there as far as I'm concerned. I love it. I love it. I think it's just beautiful. but she's standing by her own. I took her in and put her to bed. She took a nap. Sherry's going to be here in another hour or so. Her and Jack got back from their medical convention in New Orleans, where Jack gave a few talks down there to the other doctors. And but when I took her in and put her to bed, I told her, I said, "Okay, honey," I said, "I'm not lifting your butt up anymore. You're going to have to stand up." And she sort of laughed at that. And then she gave me that stink eye, you know. That used to be an old baseball term, you know, when an umpire called a pitch a strike when you thought it was a ball, and you turn around and give him the stink eye. That's an old saying. It goes way back. But anyway, she said okay. She said okay. And we went in there, and you know, you kind of have to get her arm down there where she can use it to push up, but she's mostly doing it with her leg, which is what most of us, when we stand up, we use our legs to stand up, and that's what she's mostly doing. She's mostly using her legs when she stood up, and so when I put her in bed, she pretty much, that's exactly what she did. She pretty much just stood up there. Just stood up there in bed, and I mean, I stood up there beside the bed, and then leaned back, and she was fine. I mean, she pretty much did that, and I'm going to take Pat Turner's job, you know, camera guy. I'm so good. All of y'all are going and saying, "Jimmy, this is the worst camera job I've ever seen in my life." That's why mostly I just set it up on a tripod and talk. I don't like to walk around with it. But I just can't hardly stand still in one spot when I'm excited. I'm excited about Chris standing. I'm excited about the possibility that she's getting close to being able to stand up on her own. I'm getting excited about the possibility that I made a statement a couple of days ago about, I guess it was maybe when we first turned the month into June, that Chris would be walking sometime the month of June. I'm going to stand by that. I'm believing that will happen. And she goes up to Kaiser. They've got the rails, and they got everything to walk, and rails down the hallways, and electronic stimulus, and they're going to be doing a lot of things, and she's going to be rehabbing there 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, and I'm probably going to take her up there 1 or 2 of those days, and we'll probably let, you know, some of the other family members take her up there too, because they'll be able to visit in the hospital. I think she'll probably do an hour of occupational, an hour of physical, and an hour of speech. So she'll be doing 3 different therapies, and they'll be working her really, really hard, and she'll be staying over at Sherry's house. Jack and Sherry had one of those chairlifts put in. When I go over there, I might do a video on that and see how that is, because I want to ride up and down one of those things. They got a big winding stairway that goes up. I want to ride up and down that thing myself, see how that works. So, but we might do a vid on that, because that'll be kind of interesting. I've never seen one of them. I've never seen one of them except on television. So we might have that. We'll have fun. But I think that she will be walking. Maybe not totally all the time, walking without the wheelchair, maybe not going up and down steps and stuff, but walking and being able to walk with, maybe with a cane, maybe without, but be able to walk with a walker or a cane or some sort of support. But quickly thereafter, as soon as her right leg gains enough strength, she'll be walking totally just using the 2 legs that God gave her. The one good leg she still got, and the one bad leg that God is healing right now. So that's fantastic. When I look back and I think about the blessings, the fact that she learned to swallow almost immediately, the fact that from early on she could talk to us a little bit, and that's getting better and better all the time, and now she's putting a lot of relatively complicated sentences together, and once she gets about 6 or 7 words past, you know, she'll get her mind's going and trying to say it, and the last 3 or 4 words might be difficult to understand. So it's a little bit like playing charades. So I've loved playing games with her all my life. Not necessarily charades, but but that's what we're kind of playing now. We're playing a little bit of charades, because everybody's kind of trying to guess what she wants. She wanted a wash rag to wipe her face before she laid down today. And we went from brushing her teeth to a drink of water to several different things. And finally I said, "A wash rag. Can you say, 'I want a wash rag, please, to wash my face'?" And she did. She repeated it right after me. And that's exactly what she wanted. So I might be getting pretty good at this game of charades. But at any rate, Chris is getting better. That's all I can say. Every day she's not better than she was yesterday. It doesn't seem like, but she probably is. I'm here with her every day, so I notice all those little increments. I'm not going to be with her every single day, starting here pretty soon. I've got some personal appearances to do, and we're going to get to go to some pretty exciting things, do some exciting things with my buddy Johnny Morse, the founder of Bass Pro Shop. And if y'all haven't been in a Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's lately, you probably have been, because most everybody's fishing right now. You need to get in there, because that is the perfect place to buy Father's Day gifts. Are you listening to me, kids and grandkids? Bass Pro Shop, the perfect place to buy Father's Day gifts. Grandkids, kids, great-grandkids, remember all those birthdays and Christmas and all that? It's a great place to buy granddad or dad a Father's Day gift. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But Chris is doing great. Thank you so much, so many of you, all of you basically, not so many, for the prayers. Chris and I appreciate those prayers more than you will ever know. God is listening. I think the gates of heaven rattle every day because there's so many of you praying. And you've continued to pray. You continued to pray. You've been faithful in your prayers. I would venture to guess, just knowing some of y'all, that some of y'all are praying even more than I am. And I pray every time I sort of think about it. I pray every time I sort of think about some little blessing or some little thing that happens, and I'm glad that happens. I pray. But some of y'all seem to be praying more for Chris than even I'm praying for Chris, and so some of y'all are praying for me too, and I appreciate that. I always appreciate somebody praying for me, because if God created anybody that needs prayers, this is it right here. God created me, and He said that boy's going to need some prayers, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So it's a wonderful, wonderful privilege for me to get to take care of Chris like I've done, doing things I never thought I had the ability to do, never thought I had the patience to do, never thought I had the courage to do, and yet God has given me all of the above. I'm not going to say in abundant quantities, but in enough quantity to get the job done. And I'm hoping Chris doesn't remember too much of all this nightmare she's having to go through right now. But I hope she remembers the little part that Jimmy was here trying all he could to kind of help. And so many other people too. My buddy Bob Myers bought four pecan pies. His wife Phyllis went by and bought some pecan pies, and she bought 4 for me. She knows that's my favorite pie. And I'm sure they have Jimmy Houston Twin Eagle Ranch pecans in them, because we sell our most of our pecans. We sell a lot through the internet. Y'all buy a lot of them, but we also sell a lot commercially. And I know that the biggest pecan maker around here, which I guess is Mrs. Fields, they use our pecans, and they're wonderful. They're great, guys and girls. I really thank y'all for all your prayers, all your concern, all your love. Y'all have showed more love than I could ever imagine. You showed more love to Chris than it's blown me away. It's blown me away. And like I told my buddy Johnny Morse on the phone the other day, and Toby Keith also the same day when they called to talk to Chris, it's pretty obvious to me that all the Jimmy Houston Outdoors fans love Chris a lot more than they love Jimmy. But that's all right, because I love Chris a lot more than I love Jimmy too. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a wonderful Saturday. It's a rainy day in Georgia. I don't know, but I do know it's a rainy day in Oklahoma, and I'm loving it. I think it's a fantastic day. We're going to go in, and Sherry will be getting here after a while. She'll be spending the week with me here, and we'll be having a nice dinner tonight. Chris will have a nice nap, and it's going to get better and better and better with little bitty teeny steps. But if you take enough little bitty teeny steps, you can crawl the tallest mountain. Guys and girls, remember, I sure do love you.